How are you doing? Thank you for being so patient. The time is 6:05 p.m. on Tuesday, March 21st, and we're going to call the meeting to order. Will you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This is a meeting of the Warren City School Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the school district's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in agenda items number 11A and B. Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Mr. Flanagan?
Present.
Mr. Fowley?
He is running a little late. He did advise me yesterday that he would be a little tardy.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Here.
Mrs. Patterson?
Here.
Mr. Walker?
Present. Thank you for that. There is no need for executive session as identified in agenda item number 3. Agenda item number 4, communications.
The only communication that I have this evening is that the statewide tornado drill will take place tomorrow at 9:50 a.m. We conducted it at Harding High School today in lieu of tomorrow due to SAT makeup testing that would be disturbed by that. So our pre-K through 8s will be participating in that tomorrow. All of the communications, we had a special board meeting a little more than a week ago, and there really hasn't been much more that I haven't communicated to the board along the way. So that concludes my communications for this evening.
Excellent. Thank you for that, Mr. Shiro. Can I have a motion for adoption of the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Treasurer's report?
I shared with everybody in their board packets today a ratings presentation that I gave in Chicago last week to Moody's, and just very pleased with how it went. They were very impressed, I think, by all the new economic things we have going on here, you know, reinventing ourselves kind of as an energy electric hub that we have going, and they were also very pleased with our financials and our cash reserve balances. So I expect to hear from them this Thursday in terms of our outcome. But there was pretty much assurance, I felt, given to me that there would be no downgrade in our ratings.
Excellent.
So from there, I will be going next week to Minneapolis for a pricing trip, and that's when we'll begin pricing the certificates of participation that you'll have a resolution on the board for tonight. So currently, we're at an advantage because the interest rates for our type of financing are going down due to some of the things happening in the banking industry worldwide. So it's unfortunate, but it's, you know, puts us in a better situation. So but we'll see how that turns out next week.
Thank you.
That's good to hear.
Yes.
In spite of the worldwide bad news, it's nice to know Warren can get a foot of head sometimes. All right.
But that's all I have for this evening.
All right. Thank you for that, Ms. Cortino. Superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. The Board of Directors of the Warren City Schools Foundation and the Committee of the Warren High School's Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame is pleased to announce the following inductees into the class of 2023. Mrs. Lamperos, would you please introduce the
Sure.
class?
If I could just entertain everyone, I'm going to be reading a little bit here about our inductees, so just bear with me as we celebrate them being inducted into our Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame. Sean Couples, Warren G. Harding, 1983. Sean Couples attended Teal College and graduated with a bachelor's degree in accounting and business administration. He was also a member of the United States Marine Corps and was on active and reserve duty tours from 1985 to 1991. Currently, Sean works at General Nutrition Corporation, GNC, as the United Kingdom Financial Controller, Director of Financial Reporting, Vice President of Internal Audit, and the Vice President of International Business Development. Sean attributes his accomplishments and achievements to the foundation he received as a resident of the City of Warren and a graduate of the Warren City Schools. Kenneth Davis, Warren G. Harding, 2004. Kenneth Davis is a father to Ethan, 6, and Kennedy Davis, 4, and husband to Brittany Davis. Kenneth is owner of Grow Pro Genetics LLC and account manager at Syngenta Seed, KWS Cereals USA, and Bayer Corp Crop Science. He graduated from The Ohio State University Agribusiness and Applied Economics with a bachelor's degree and received his master's from Iowa State University Seed Science and Technology. Ken is a YMCA youth sports coach and Morning Star Baptist Church men's ministry leader during his free time. Kenneth is also a recipient of the Ohio State University CFAES Young Professional Award. Attorney Stanley A. Elkins, Warren Western Reserve, 1977. Attorney Stanley A. Elkins attended Defiance College and graduated with a degree in both criminal justice and psychology. He obtained his Juris Doctorate from the University of Akron School of Law in 1984. Mr. Elkins was admitted to practice law in Ohio in May of 1985. He has served as a prosecutor for both the City of Warren and Trumbull County. Attorney Elkins currently serves as Chief Prosecutor of the Juvenile Division of the Trumbull County Prosecutor's Office. Stanley has been a member of Second Baptist Church for over 50 years, where he serves as an usher and trustee. Joseph Kotwis, Warren G. Harding, 1984. Joe Kotwis attended Clemson University and graduated in 1988 with a bachelor's in mechanical engineering. After 2 years with International Paper in South Carolina, he enrolled at North Carolina State and earned a master's in management, graduating in 1992 while designing part-time in Research Triangle Park. Joe married and moved to Iowa in 1992 for a 31-year career with DuPont. He transferred to West Virginia 2000 and then to Ohio in 2006. Joe consulted across most firms and laminates businesses in DuPont, as well as external cell phone and aerospace customers. He was promoted to Technology Fellow in 2018 and retired in 2023 to pursue a manufacturing engineering consulting business. Wendy Marvin, Warren G. Harding, 1980. Wendy Marvin was born in Kimbrough Army Hospital in Fort Meade, Maryland. She arrived in Warren, Ohio at the ripe old age of 3 days. Her mother always told her this was the beginning of her wanderlust. Attending Laird Avenue Elementary, East Junior High, and Warren G. Harding High School, Wendy went on to attend Kent State University, where she spent 8 years dabbling in this and that. She eventually became a medical assistant and never spent a day working in the field because working at the Trumbull YMCA not-for-profit sector while going to school was a job she loved. Wendy spent 34 years there before deciding to leave and move abroad. She received a teaching certification from the University of Miami of Florida for teaching English as a foreign language, TEFL, and this was the start of her life abroad, first moving to Paris, France, followed by China, Bali, and her current home, Warsaw, Poland. It has afforded her the opportunity to travel to 42 countries of the world, and she has never looked back. Jill Christine Marola, Warren G. Harding, 1983. Jill Christine Marola completed her bachelor's degree in education in 1987 and her master's degree in education administration in 1992, both from Youngstown State University. In 1987, she joined the Warren City Schools as an elementary school teacher at McKinley, Horace Mann, Roosevelt, and Dickey Avenue schools. She was awarded the A+ Teacher Award by the Tribune Chronicle in 1992. In 1997, Jill advanced into administration as a middle school principal at Turner and an elementary principal at Seacrest, McGuffey K4, and McGuffey K2 at Emerson. In 2010, Jill transitioned to central office leadership as Supervisor of Community Outreach and Grant Development, where she led 2 major national initiatives in Warren with CASTLE, Collaborative for Academic Social Emotional Learning with former U.S. Congressman Tim Ryan, and worked collaboratively with SMARTS, Students Motivated by the Arts, to make Warren City Schools and Any Given Child School District, one of 25 with the John F. Kennedy Performing Arts Center in Washington, D.C. Kirk Stifler, M.D., M.Ph., Warren Western Reserve, 1988. Kirk Stifler enrolled in the combined BS MD program at the Northeastern Ohio University's College of Medicine, earning his bachelor's degree at Kent State University and graduating Neo-UCOM, now known as NeoMed, with his MD in 1994. The following 3 years were spent in the emergency medicine residency program at Summa Health System in Akron, Ohio. Afterwards, Kirk joined Summa Health System as an attending emergency physician at the training program. He was awarded Teacher of the Year by the residents in 1999, soon began to perform clinical research, and eventually served as Director of Clinical Research for Emergency Medicine. During much of that time, he also chaired the Institutional Review Board, IRB, ensuring patient safety for those participating in clinical research trials at the institution. During that time, he completed his Master's of Public Health at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, was promoted to Professor of Emergency Medicine at NeoMed, and has published multiple peer-reviewed research papers. After nearly 2 decades at Summa Health System, Kirk accepted a new role as Director of Emergency Medicine at University's Hospital, Ahuja Medical System in Beechwood, Ohio, during the late summer of 2017. In 2020, Kirk was instrumental in helping Ahuja's emergency department navigate the coronavirus pandemic. Kirk has served as the chairman of Ahuja's Department of Medicine and is currently serving as the president of the medical staff. Throughout his career, Kirk manages to support various philanthropic organizations and is a dedicated father, son, and husband. The board is also pleased to announce the 2023 Distinguished Faculty, Beverly A. Burrill. Born September 17, 1954, in Warren, Ohio, she graduated from Youngstown State University with a bachelor's degree in 1976, took employment with the Warren City Schools during the 1976-77 school year, and completed her master's degree in August 1983. During her 16 years of employment with the Warren City Schools, she taught English at West Junior High School, Warren G. Harding High School, and Harry B. Turner 7th grade school. Her dates of employment were from 1977 to 1992. So with that, those are all of our inductees. We will be having our Alumni Hall of Fame dinner, which will be held on Saturday, May the 6th. The tickets are $30 if you have an interest in attending. We would encourage you to attend. It's a great event. We do have tours of the building for all of the attendees if they would like to see the Harding building. Those will begin at 5 o'clock, and it's really nice to go through the Alumni Hall of Fame, the hallway there, and see all of those that have been honored over the years. The program and dinner will officially begin at 6 o'clock. And again, congratulations to our inductees, to our staff member, our former staff member that's being inducted as well, and we're very proud of everyone. This is a great thing for Warren. We do this every year, and thank you to the Hall of Fame committee for all of their hard work and hard reading, because we get to read all of these biographies that come in, and we have the hard decision to select those. So again, congratulations, and thank you for allowing us some time to recognize all of our inductees.
Thank you, Mrs. Harris. I also get to put my plug in here at this time that we are going to resume with the district art show that we've done across the district, and it's going to be the Friday evening before, and the art displays will be up for the Alumni Hall of Fame event at Harding High School, so our students' artwork will be displayed not only for our families and communities on Friday, but also on Saturday for the event. And if I could also talk for just a second on how important this event has become over the years, that a decade ago we were giving $500 scholarships or $1,000 scholarships, Mr. Lacey, to the valedictorian and salutatorian. And last year, I think we approached $50,000 in scholarship money that went to our students in the Warren City schools as part of our work to provide more scholarship opportunity in-house. And that has been through a tremendous effort from many individuals, including those in this room. So I want to thank everybody who helped support our students through this event. It's great to recognize our past, but also supporting our current future and where our students get to go. So our students receiving scholarships also participate in the event with us. And we have an amazing class this year. 24 of our graduates this year. We have the smallest class I've seen coming through Warren G. Harding High School, but 24 students that are above 4.0, that are distinguished honor students, which the students worked very hard through the pandemic and beyond, and they've earned great credits. Jen Camberry from the high school, Jen, you know that, and Mr. Capers and I had the pleasure of meeting with all those students today to inform them of their honor status, invite them to an honors brunch we're going to have on, I believe, April 23rd, honoring them, which has also become a tradition for the last decade here in Warren City Schools. So this is a great time of the year, honoring our honor students, rewarding our graduates, bringing our alumni, and celebrating what's so special here in the Warren City Schools, past, present, and future. So thank you, Mrs. Limperos, and thank you to the Hall of Fame Board.
Thank you.
Our second superintendent's report, which I believe is why most of you are here this evening, is continuing our building presentations. So I'd like to thank everyone who's here today to support McGuffey School and the administration here at McGuffey and different team members that are going to present tonight. So I'd like to turn it over to campus leader Jim Joseph and the team at McGuffey.
Thank you, Mr. Shiro. First, I would like to welcome everyone to McGuffey PK8. We are excited for you to be here this evening. I am Jim Joseph. I'm the campus leader and 6-8 principal. And at this time, I would like to introduce the administrative team at McGuffey. We have Jeannie Rickard, our PK2 principal, Leah Godoy, our 3-5 principal, Denise Delaquilla, our special education supervisor, Anthony Klein, our curriculum and instruction liaison. I would also like to introduce Jessica Smith, our literacy coach, Nicole Shaker, our math coach, who will also be presenting with us this evening. And I would like to give a shout out to our amazing staff here at McGuffey, most of who are in the audience this evening. As we take you on this journey this evening, focusing on our past, present, and future, our focus has been on our students and helping all students achieve academic growth. We have a strong foundation in incorporating academics in all we do at McGuffey. At the beginning of the year, we identified a theme we wanted to incorporate into the building and make it a focal point. This year's theme was McGuffey at the Movies, where you can be a star. Fitting theme, as all of our students are stars. So this evening, in true Hollywood fashion, we are going to take you back to the future and show you where we have been and where we are going.
So our first portion of this presentation is titled Past versus Present. And the reason for that is our data in the past is our data from the past. We can't really do anything to change that. But in the present and in the future, through using the district-adopted curriculum, along with just being intentional with that curriculum, we feel that we have made some substantial gains already, but we're going to continue working with that. As well as we have a lot of staff here that are Warren City Schools graduates, but are presently still working in the district, sending kids to the district. So we just want to continue to build off that. So this section right here, the third grade reading guarantee data, this is a test. It's the state test that third graders take in the fall of each school year, and then they'll take it again in the past. So if you look at the fall of 2019, 20, and 21, those are our scores of how many students that were at least proficient for the third grade reading guarantee. And then at the bottom, you have our fifth grade state test score at the end of last school year. 2 data points that we just wanted to include in this presentation. Now, moving on from that, in the fall, our third grade students took that test again, and their proficiency percentage was 35%. Those are the students that at least met the third grade reading guarantee. So you see a jump in that in 14%. So since pre-COVID through right now, the students that are currently in third grade, we've progressed every single year in the amount of students in the fall state tests that have met the third grade reading guarantee. And then again, the students that are currently in sixth grade, when they took the fifth grade state test last year, they had 35.9% of the students were at least proficient. So that's a 22.8% increase in one academic year. Now we want to talk about, again, shouting our staff members that are Warren City Schools graduates. As you can tell, we have a pretty long list. A lot of them are here right now. So we just want to continue to build off the fact that we have a very community-based school district. And then again, a lot of those same staff members choose to send their kids to Warren City Schools because of a lot of the excellent things that Warren City Schools has to offer. And then going from that, we just have a couple staff testimonials that talk about what Warren City Schools means to them.
For 23 years. I'm a proud teacher. Most of my years have been in first grade. I started out as a substitute in Warren City School and got my first job opportunity here with the intention of, oh, I'll teach a few years and then I'll go somewhere else. But I absolutely love Warren City Schools and have decided to spend my whole career here. In fact, I love it so much that this is where I've decided to send my 5 children. I've had 3 children that have graduated, 2 with honors from Warren City Schools, and 2 more that are well on their way to do so. I've had the opportunity to send my children to other schools throughout the year, but have decided that I didn't want them any place but Warren City Schools. They've given them opportunities that they would not have other places. So proud teacher, proud resident, proud parent of Warren City Schools.
What McGuffey has done for my kids, what they've gotten stronger academically. They've become a little more social. Kids were not very social when they started here. They've become more social. Their grades have improved since they've been here. And as a graduate, I feel like I've become a strong member of society. After high school, I went straight to college, and when I went to college, I went to the military. And I came back home after working in the military to work here in McGuffey. So I feel like being a Warren City School graduate has made me a positive member of society.
All right, thank you. And then this part we have, if you just take a second to read this for time's sake, just some testimonials that we have about parents based on McGuffey Schools and the experience that they had or currently are having. Okay, thank you. We'll move on from there.
Social emotional learning. Social emotional learning is part of McGuffey's past, present, and future. Much like the DeLorean makes time travel possible, SEL is what makes learning possible. So we have intentionally planned several things this year, and I just wanted to share a few of them. These are just a few of the things that we did. At the top, you'll see an event we had for kindergarten called Peace and Pizza. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a couple of minutes. On the upper right and lower right-hand side, those are some pictures from Spirit Week. We had a Twins Day. And then continuing clockwise, we have Pajama Day. And then we also have some older kids teaching the younger kids, and I'll get into that for a program called Be Kind, Stick Together. We stick together. One of the things that we really wanted to do this year was we wanted to bring the kids together. And so we did a lot of things to try and help the older kids work with some of the younger kids. So we have several different buddy programs going on within the school. So in these pictures, you can see some middle schoolers with some 3 through 5 students. And they really enjoyed going down. The younger kids liked it. They liked the benefit of the older kids' mentorship, and the older kids really enjoyed that as well. This event was our very first family event that we've had in the PK2 since before COVID, that was grade level based. And so we decided that we really wanted to start with our youngest kids and help them learn how to calm themselves down and control their emotions. And so we invited families in, and they all got this book and a little timer to make their own Peace Corner at home, and also some Play-Doh to put in a Peace Corner at home. This is the Be Kind, Stick Together program, and our guidance counselors help some of the older kids teach some of the younger kids. And if you go out in the side of the hallway, you'll see these for K2, 3, 5, and 6, 8. And each piece of tape has a student's name on it. And then we have staff buddies. We know that the research shows us that students who have at least one positive role model in school have a way better chance of graduating and a way better chance of doing well in school. And so we picked some students who we thought would benefit from this. And here are the pictures of some of the buddies and some of their staff buddies.
So, as I stated earlier, we focus on academics here at McGuffey and everything that we do. And we all know that students learn in very different and unique ways. So as this shows, we offer a variety of types of learning opportunities to meet the needs of all of our students here at McGuffey. So just to show you a few of the things, the very first picture there, life skills. These are our 6-8 CrossCat students who, with the help of our 6-8 CrossCat teacher, Ms. Dennison, they created what we call the caffeination station. Every Friday, they take this cart around to all of our staff members and offer them coffee. No charge to the staff. We are accepting donations for it so we can keep replenishing it, but it's something that these kids are learning life skills, and they're learning to be more social with adults and other students in the building. The next picture, we show a 3rd grade student who is leading his class in a math lesson. This student was sharing his solution to a math concept, and with the collaboration of other students in the classroom, they were able to work out their problem and find the correct solution to the problem. And then just right outside the hallway, right out here in the hallway, we have our March Madness for our K2 pod. I assure you that no one is betting on this at this time. This is all for fun. But what it is, the students, as part of their curriculum, they are reading books in their classrooms, and then after they read those books in the classrooms, they're picking which one they like best, and eventually towards the end of the month, we will have a winner just like we do in March Madness. And then our last thing here is we have a video here we'd like to show you. It's actually a 3rd grade classroom that is one of our general music classes. So if you guys would, please. So as you can see, somebody is destined to be a star here in the future. So it was mentioned earlier, I believe it was with Mrs. Marola's introduction for her award, the SMARTS program. We love incorporating the SMARTS program here at McGuffey. Over the years, we've built a great relationship with the SMARTS organization, and as you can see from some of these pictures here, we invite the SMARTS program to be a part of our climate and culture here at McGuffey. The bottom picture, we see one of our sixth graders who is sharing a musical performance with a percussionist. At the very top, we had a contemporary dancer come in, and then she was gracious enough to have some of our students come up on stage. They got to dance with her and interact with her. And then just last week, we had a cello player come in and played for our 3-5 pod. Some other student activities that we have here at McGuffey. The top corner, you see Mrs. Vlad. She is with one of our students, an 8th grade student for our honors choir. Then over in the top right, we have Miss Lapata, who was with our 3-5 and 6-8 spelling bee champion. The bottom right, we have one of our students getting ready to participate in Challenge 24. And then on the bottom left, we have our McGuffey Titanics team, who is getting ready to travel to New Jersey this spring, where they will be competing in a regional competition there again. So I'm very proud of all the activities that we have here at McGuffey. And then just a few others that we have here. We try to make this as interactive as possible for all of our students, letting them find what they want to enjoy. We have our drama club, which is the first year of our drama club with Mrs. Redmond. We have National Junior Honor Society, where our ceremony will be held in May. 3-5 and 6-8 Student Council, Math Counts, Winter and Spring Intramurals, Great Books, Prep Bowl, and Band and Choir. And the picture over here, we have some of our 3-5 Student Council members that are counting all of the donations we collected for our student campaign for the United Way last week.
So the next portion of our presentation is it's all about the interventions that we're using here at McGuffey. All the programs that we utilize for intervention are district-adopted or district-adopted programs that we feel have shown great success this year and in years past. So we've just really been intentional with how we're utilizing those programs. So to talk about some of our interventions, first we'll have Jessica Smith, our literacy coach, talk about kind of what's going on in the K-2 world in terms of literacy. And then following her, Nicole Shaker will talk about our interventions, specifically one of the ones that we have been piloting here at McGuffey, which is IXL, which we've been using that for grades 5 through 8 in math.
Hi, everyone. I'm just going to briefly describe the interventions that Anthony just referred to. So in the past, we had more or less one type of intervention program, but now we have various options, different things we can do with the kids depending on what skills they need and what skills they're missing. Wilson is our intensive Tier 3 intervention for students in grades 2 through 5. So this is for students with word level deficits who are not making sufficient progress in their current intervention or have just been unable to learn with other teaching strategies, so they need multisensory language instruction. Really great reading is another one of our interventions, so that's explicit systematic instruction in the areas of phonological awareness, phonics, decoding, which is reading, and encoding, which is writing. 95% is actually new. It's our Tier 2 after-school intervention. So the 95% libraries are really nice because they provide lessons by skill, so that instruction can be differentiated by what a student is missing without having to teach the entire program. IXL, Mrs. Shaker will discuss more about that in just a minute. Currently, we're also using some keys to beginning reading strategies. That's the PD that our K-3 teachers are currently getting this year, and when they're finished, they'll be dyslexia trained. So, for example, we targeted the skill of letter ID in kindergarten. We noticed that there were 18 students who did not know their letters in kindergarten, so we did focused, very intentional groups based on their needs and specific letters that they needed. Out of those 18 kids, there are now just 16, there are now 16 that know their letters and just 2 that don't, and the 2 that don't are extremely close to having mastery. So that's super exciting, and I just had an example of something we use. So from keys, this is called an alphabet arc, And this is one of the strategies that we used from Keys to Beginning Reading PD. I should be good at saying that by now, right? So you can do lots of different things with this. You can do letter order, letter matching. You can play games like missing letter, and you can do a lot of fluency activities to build fluency for letter identification. So we're just super proud of the tremendous growth that we've seen, and we're just excited to see what the future brings. So thank you.
Good evening. I just want to share with you about IXL, which is an online math program that we are currently piloting at McGuffey in grades 5 through 8. So I have some charts to share with you today. We began this program on January 18th, again in grades 5 through 8, and the top model shows you the amount of time that our students have spent on IXL since we started this program. The circle chart tells you that our students are not only completing IXL at school, but they're also logging in at home as well. The bottom chart, it's very hard to see, but IXL actually has a goal that students are supposed to complete 15 questions per week. Our students have surpassed it, that the new goal that they set was 65 questions per week, and you could see that they've even surpassed that every single week. So I'm very excited about this because we use this hand in hand with our 5-8 curriculum to support our grade level standards, and our students have really enjoyed it, and our engagement, we've seen it increase since we started this on January 18th. Oh, and then we also do something fun with this. IXL lets you do a leaderboard where you can make competitions. So all of our class sections in the building, grades 5-8, compete against each other. And the kids could see this when they log into IXL as well, and they get totally into the competition. This is what the leaderboard looks like, for example. So the kids, it's basically a competition. At the end, you know, we celebrate which class won, and we do it every 2 weeks, a new cycle.
Good evening, everyone. I'm the short one. Can you hear me? So we have a lot of great things going on here at McGuffey, as you can see. Something we're especially proud of is our family engagement. We're so grateful and excited to be able to welcome our families into our building finally again. So we've had lots of things going on this year. One of our first events we had was coffee chat. Are you going to? That was just an opportunity for our parents to come in and have one-on-one conversations with the administrators. Mr. Capers was there, and we had some conversation about academic supports and non-academic supports, not even just with McGuffey, but with Warren City Schools as a whole. And it was very nice for the families to be able to sit down and speak with us about any questions or concerns that they might have or things that they were curious about. We're just working on strengthening those relationships with our families as well as our students. The next thing we have our math events. We had a K2 one, a 3-5 one, and a 6-8 one. As you know, I'm sure that math is taught very differently these days than it was when most of us went to school. So we wanted to give the parents a chance to come in and see what our curriculum looks like with both the Bridges and the CPM. So we had our math coaches discuss the different pieces of the framework, including number corner and workplaces. They also shared strategies that students learn and use throughout the lesson. So families are familiar with these when they see them at home and they're coming home with homework. And I mean, I know my son's young and they do Bridges where he goes, and I'm like, I don't know how you're doing this, but you know, so it was just a good opportunity for them to be able to see how we're instructing the students here. Also, for the 6-8 one, they went over the strategies and gaming components. I guess a lot of the 6-8 teachers were here, which was nice to show their support and help play the games with the students and show the parents how they can play those games with their students at home as well. There was an IXL tutorial that Ms. Shaker just spoke about. So she showed the parents, she modeled it and showed the parents how to access it at home with things to take advantage of things such as videos and example problems that are embedded within the program. Also, Mr. Middleton, our counselor, was there speaking about the Naviance program with the students where they research careers and the paths to get to those careers. So, and we gave the families lots of resources to take home as well. So next we have our Winter Wonderland. That was a fun event that we did around Christmas time. We had stations for all the families. We had cookie decorating, ornament making, pictures with Santa. Our very own Mr. Blair was Santa, the one that we had the testimonial from. So he was there that night. And then we had letters to Santa. The students made reindeer food. And we had "'Twas the Night Before Christmas" read by our very own Mr. Joseph, right up there on the stage. That was a hit. So next we had our report card meeting. And this was especially important this year, I think, because of the change in the star rating system. So we just wanted to make it more parent-friendly for family-friendly for students and their families to understand what the rating system means and how we're doing and what we're going, some goals that we're setting for our school and our district, as well as some of the academic and non-academic supports that we provide throughout the district. So coming soon, these are some things that we still have coming up this year. We have our drama club, who's been practicing for their spring performance after school in the evenings. It's called The Not So Mysterious Disappearance of Cinderella on April 5th and 6th, so that sounds exciting. And then we have Word Game Day for second grade, which will be held April 21st. And then the Celebration of the Arts is May 10th, where there's going to be lots of activities planned involving art and music, and that will be the spring band and choir concerts will be held that night as well. So I'm happy to say that family attendance continues to increase at all of our events each time we have an event. So we're looking forward to planning even more of these events in the future and building those relationships with our students and families. Thank you.
I'm going to talk about a couple of our PBIS opportunities for our students. If you look at the top row, the first three pictures are the K2, the 3-5, and the 6-8 store. Students earn McGuffey money, movie tickets that they can spend at the stores. The K2 and the 3-5 stores are run by our 3-5 student council. The 6-8 store is run by Ms. Residlo. She takes around the movie cart every Friday. To the right of the stores is the mat ball incentive. And if we go down to the second row, the students made Christmas stockings as an incentive. And then where you see the students in the gym on the W, that was Tailgate the Hall. And the students are playing Connect 4, but there was a multitude of activities happening with Tailgate the Hall. There was Jenga, there was ladder ball, there was basketball, there was all kinds of activities going throughout the building. To the right, those two students bought with their money, their McGuffey money, a VIP lunch. So they got to pick whoever they want to have lunch with. They get cookies, and they get to sit on the stage and have a VIP lunch. And then, of course, our final PBIS picture is Mrs. Ricker getting pied in the face.
So I guess all good stories must come to an end. So what does our future hold? I wish I had a time-traveling DeLorean to go back into time and predict our future. However, as we continue to create pathways of success for all students, we look forward to increasing our community partnerships to help engage our students within the community. With the construction of the new Wellness Center, this will open up so many pathways of success for all of our Warren City students, and we look forward to providing opportunities for our students to utilize the new Wellness Center. This summer, with the help of our special education department, we are creating 2 sensory hallways, one in our K2 pod and one in our hallway between the 3-5 and 6-8 pod, as well as adding materials to our sensory classroom. We will also continue to build on our new partnerships with Akron Children's Hospital and both Cadence Care and Valley Counseling to help meet the medical and social and emotional needs of our students. And to close out the 2022-23 school year, as Mrs. Godoy referenced, McGuffey will hold its annual Celebration of the Arts program on May 10th from 4 to 7 p.m., culminating with our 6-8 band and choir concert. And the very last slide, some examples. Those are actually examples of what our sensory hallways will look like for our students. And then our sensory classroom is in our K2 Crosscat, and then the Wellness Center. So as we have journeyed together this evening and highlighted the amazing staff, students, and families we have here at McGuffey, we want to end by saying thank you to the board for your continued support, and we look forward to sharing our journey with you in the years to come. Our script is still being written, and this journey is to be continued. So as they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Joseph. Thank you to the team and everyone's support. Thank you for the McGuffey staff that took time to be here with us this evening and show support to the great things going on at your building. And I just wanted to make a comment tying the first report to the second. You know, Joe Marola being with us today and being voted into the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame is an amazing honor, and I know your heart has been with McGuffey ever since that was your last building when you were part of it in the pre-K2 over at Emerson. So, you know, just tying everything together, you know, thank you, Jill, for all the work you do. Thank you for all the hard work that everyone's done here at McGuffey today and in the past, kind of past and into the future. Any comments from the board?
No, thank everybody on McGuffey staff for the work that you do with the children, with our children, with your children, with our community's children, and the presentation was awesome. Did a good job. No. She knows what I'm talking about. No. Anyone else?
I just want to say kudos to the McGuffey staff for what you do with the kids in terms of their learning, socially, emotionally, and the book learning. I think it's a wonderful thing to see how you have progressed from 2-3 years ago and where you are, and I just want to encourage you. Keep on keeping on, keep moving forward, keep striving for perfection, because as you strive for perfection, you'll continue to move forward. I just want to thank you all for the work that you do. Thank you very much.
I just want to take the time also to just say to the staff here, and actually the staff across our Warren City Schools, including the administration, just thank you for the work that you do on behalf of our children. It is definitely, we can see that your focus are the children. And that's what counts the most, you know, especially when you can see even on the one display you had, where we actually have students who have graduated from here who are now coming back to give back because of what they received from Warren City Schools. And for you guys to pass that on, I have 2 children who also went through Warren City Schools who were part of the McGuffey family. So I'm just so proud of you guys. I really am. I look around and I see old faces. I see a lot of new faces, but yet I still see smiling faces. And that's a wonderful thing. That's a great thing. And thank you. Thank you guys for what you do.
I think a simple thank you is the best. We all know how hard you work, and we all know how difficult the job that you all have. And we're very grateful, and we're very grateful to see such great improvement. So thank you again.
And I will finish. Of course, thank you, as everyone else has echoed. And you know, presenting to us, I know there's probably a lot of nerves that come along with that. You know, we're excited to be here. We thought it was very important to get back out on the road into our neighborhoods, into our schools. You know, we want you to see us. We want to see what you're doing. And, you know, again, to see the data that you presented, that's exciting to see. But I think those personal connections that you're making with our families and our students is what really is just amazing. So again, you know, thank you. Keep working hard. And they're all going to be working their way up to Harding and graduating, and we'll all be there, hopefully, you know, giving them a diploma. So thank you so much.
Yes.
What was that date in May?
May 10th.
May 10th. Okay, thank you.
And it's 4 to 7, right? Yes. I was paying attention.
5th in the morning?
Thank you.
5th in the evening, 6th in the morning. Okay, we're good.
That concludes the superintendent's report for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Shiro, for that. Again, thank you, McGuffey students and staff and faculty. for all of that. Board of Education committee reports. Athletics.
I'd just like to say nice job to the McGuffey team. Very nice presentation tonight. We recently had an athletic council meeting last week, and our coach, our head basketball coach for the girls, Frankie Caputo, approached the council and informed us that he would like to take the girls basketball team down to Florida in December. And, excuse me, he told us that there's going to be some fundraising, some private donations, and it's a great experience and opportunity for our students to get an opportunity to go to a different part of the United States, experience different cultures, play against other teams. So we thought it was great. They had done it a few years ago, and it's very successful, and I think we're all in approval of them going, and we're looking forward to them doing well down in Florida come December. Also, let's see where my notes are. We just had the District 3 boys basketball tournament for the Northeast District Athletic Board. We ran that about a week and a half ago. And just to let you know, there's teams from East Cleveland all the way up to Perry on the Lake, all the way down to North Lima area. We had a great opportunity to bring teams into our facility to showcase, as they came in, the posters up there for the Wellness Center. Got more compliments on that and more inquiries on what exactly is this? What are you doing? Oh, that's awesome. So our campus is a showcase, and I'm telling you, when this thing's done, it's going to be one of the premier track events, indoor track events in Northeast Ohio. There's one school up in, a facility up in Geneva called Spire that seems to have a monopoly on everything, but when this opens, I truly believe we're going to see a lot of teams not have to drive an hour up to Lake Erie in a foot of snow, and we'll be able to run events here. And I think that, once again, this is going to be a heck of a facility for our school district. And one more thing, spring sports is kicking off this weekend. Of course, we had a dry winter, warm temperatures. Baseball, softball's kicking off Saturday, 90% rain, high of 47, so it's Ohio. So, any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nicholson. Finance Advisory? Is there a report?
No.
No? Board Policies and Procedures?
No report.
Legislative Liaison?
I don't have anything. Do you have anything?
Well, other than the legislative committee met Monday, and I haven't had time to watch the 4-hour-long video.
I did see some notes. They were depressing. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Here's my notes. Yeah, they weren't real. They weren't real.
It's not looking very good down there in Columbus.
And they're very slow. Very slow.
Slow bad news is better, I guess. TCTC Board Representative.
No report.
All right. Thank you all.
Can I make a comment regarding TCTC? Our main meeting is scheduled the same night as the TCTC completion ceremony. So we have two, and that will be back at Warren G. Harding High School for that meeting. So the board has two decisions. One, Mrs. Patterson and I are going to have to either leave the meeting early, or do you guys want to bump it up to 5:30? Something to think about for the next meeting. But I got my invitation, responded. Mr. Capers, Ms. Hartzell, and I will all plan to be there at Eastwood Field for our TCTC completion. I know Mrs. Patterson will.
What time do you have to be there for?
I think it's a 6.
I think 7:30 it starts, because they try to align it with fireworks and darkness. So,
And the rain.
yeah, I mean, they've had the rain. We can't control that either, but fireworks in the lit sky doesn't work too well, as we know as well. But I think it's 7:30, so we're gonna have to be out of here by 6:45. I'm thinking if it's a 7:30 start.
I'm okay with starting at 5:30.
Oh, yeah.
If everybody's all right. And then if you have to, if something happens and we're moving along, you can leave.
Yeah.
That's fine, both of you.
So we will make an announcement, or we'll change it on the
Yeah.
next board agenda, 5:30.
Change it.
You know, the other thing I wanted to say too was, last year, we did a presentation with our high school students who attend TCTC, who who are doing just wonderful things in their career center, and we honored those students. Will we be doing that again this year?
I'll need Mr. Gray to give me the information of the students to be honored, because with
Okay.
us having nearly 100 students out there, I'm not sure, which students would be
Yes,
receiving the honor.
I'll get a list. I'll get the list like I did last time.
Sure.
Because we honestly, we have some students who are excelling in the emergency medical.
Okay.
Yeah, in that field. They're getting certificates like you would not believe.
That's
Yeah,
excellent.
And we're very proud of them, very proud of them.
That's good. Good to hear. Thank you for that. Agenda item number 9, any old business? Number 10, any new business? I don't believe there's any public participation for identified agenda items. We will move to page number 6. Number 1, Mr. Fowley, Treasurer's recommendations.
Treasurer's recommendations. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the February 2023 and March 2023 board minutes be approved as submitted.
Second?
Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 7, item number 2, monthly financial statement. Ms. Lamperos.
It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the February 2023 financial statement and short-term investments made by the treasurer during February 2023, Exhibit A, pages 49 to 50, be approved as submitted.
Second.
Is there any discussion on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 9, item number 3. Ms. Patterson.
Approve the application, accept the grant, and approve the grant appropriations. It is recommended the resolution listed below to approve the application, accept the grant, and approve the grant appropriation A be approved as submitted.
Second?
Any questions or discussion on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 10, item number 4, revised appropriation budget. Mr. Flanagan?
It is recommended the resolution listed below for revised appropriation budgets, A, be approved as submitted.
Second.
Is there any discussion or comment on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino, please call the roll.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 11, item number 1, superintendent's recommendations. Oh, I'm sorry. I guess I got to tell you who to read. Ms. Lamperos.
Agreements, contracts, and/or leases. It is recommended the resolution listed below entering into agreements, contracts, and/or leases A and B be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any question or discussion on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page 12, item number 2, Mr. Fowley?
Ohio testing procedure. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the following in-state testing procedures for the 2023-2024 school year be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 13, item number 3, Ms. Patterson?
The ground lease and lease purchase agreement. It is recommended the resolution approving and authorizing a ground lease and lease purchase agreement and related documents providing for the construction, enlarging, furnishing, and equipping, and the lease and eventual acquisition of facilities and improvements, including a recreation and wellness center for school district purposes and authorizing and approving other related matters be approved as submitted.
Second.
All right, and that does take us to page 23, just so all board members are aware. Any questions or discussion on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 24, item 4, Mr. Flanagan.
Ohio Schools Council governance policy change. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding the Ohio Schools Council governance policy change can be approved as submitted.
Second.
Is there any questions or discussion on the motion? And just for clarification, these are just updates to language for time's sake, correct?
Yes, of their policies, not ours.
Yeah. Okay. Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Agenda, page number 25, item number 5, tuition reimbursement. Mr. Fowley.
Tuition reimbursement. It is recommended the resolution listed below for tuition reimbursement be approved as submitted.
Second.
Is there any questions or discussion on the agenda item? If not, Ms. Cortino, please call the roll.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 26, agenda item number 6. Ms. Patterson, can you please read that?
Acceptance of gifts. It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding acceptance of gifts be approved as submitted. Our benefactors are American Hellenic Edu Progressive Association for the Lincoln Pantry, estimated at $30 value. Colleen Photography for the Lincoln Pantry with an estimated value of $50. St. Paul's Evangelical. Thank you. St. Paul Evangelical Lutheran Church for the Raider Pantry, $100 value, and for United Church Homes for the Willard PK through 8 school for school supplies, an estimated value of $400. Thank you to all of our benefactors.
Yes, as always, we're more than grateful to all of the community benefactors that help pour into our students and our schools each and every meeting that we have. If there's no other discussion or comment,
A second.
can we get a second? And Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 27, agenda item number 7. This resolution needs to be read in its entirety. Mr. Flanagan, can you please read?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Resolution.
Since a hint of sarcasm there, sir.
Resolution to authorize superintendent to notify the Ohio Department of Education regarding Jessica, and forgive me, Plaskovniak. Whereas on May 10th, 2022, the Board of Education for the Warren City Schools approved and issued an employment contract to Jessica Plaskovniak, teacher, for the 2022-2023 school year. And whereas after the start of the school year, said teacher communicated individually her intention to resign, creating a hardship for the district. And whereas said communications were not received within the time frames proscribed by law for unilateral termination of the employment relationship, and whereas the board received a letter of resignation from the employee that was not accepted or approved by the superintendent, and the employee has not provided any reasonable justification for resigning her teaching assignment, was directed to report to work and failed to do so. Now, therefore be it resolved that the Board of Education authorizes and directs the superintendent to notify the Ohio Department of Education's Office of Professional Conduct of the employee's unilateral termination of the employment relationship after July 10th, 2022, without the consent of the Board of Education in violation of Ohio Revised Code Section 3319.15.
Second.
Is there any discussion or question on the item? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 28, item number 8. Ms. Lamperos.
Warren Education Association Collective Bargaining Agreement. It is recommended the resolution listed below to approve and adopt the collective bargaining agreement between the Warren Education Association and the Warren City Board of Education governing the 3-year period commencing June 30th, 2023 and concluding June 29th, 2026 be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion or question on the motion? If not, Ms. Cortino, I'm sorry, was there?
I was just going to say, good job.
Okay.
Good job.
If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Page number 29, item number 9. Mr. Fowley.
Memorandum of Understanding between the Warren City Board of Education and the Warren Education Association. It is recommended the resolution listed below be approved as submitted.
Second.
Any questions or discussion on the agenda item? If not, Ms. Cortino?
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Beginning on page 30 and ending on page number 46, we have personnel recommendations, and that is agenda item number 10. Ms. Patterson, if you could, please be so kind.
It is recommended the resolution listed below regarding personnel items A through M be approved as submitted.
Second.
And
These are two classified retirements on page 38.
thank you. And thank you to those retirees, namely Ms. Sharon Doing, educational assistant at the Willard PK through 8 building, and you said there was another, correct?
Well, you know what, I think it was just the one.
Okay, just the one, okay. So our one retiree. All right. Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Yes. Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Agenda item number 10, there is no board recommendations right now. Public participation, I don't believe anyone signed up for public participation on non-agenda items. There is no need for executive session. However, board members, you have a handout of your board, you have a handout, a board packet containing the documents you will need to begin the evaluation process for our superintendent and the treasurer. If you have questions, please reach out to myself or Ms. Lamperos. Since there's no need for executive session, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Cortino, can you please call the roll?
Mrs. Lamperos?
Yes.
Mr. Flanagan?
Yes.
Mr. Fowley?
Yes.
Mrs. Patterson?
Yes.
And Mr. Walker?
Yes, and the motion carries. Thank you all. Good night.